I'm finally getting my multi-engine rating.
Wow, we covered some ground there. Did we get all the way to Brantford?
Yeah, Brantford's right over there.
Yeah, things fast.
And on the way home at the end of the first lesson, this happened.
Okay.
Whoa.
I just lost. That wasn't me.
What happened?
We just lost.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I was trimming. So left. We just lost some left power.
Having briefed that we would only simulate engine failures, my instructor Kevin did some really good acting to keep me on my toes.
Left. Dead foot is left.
Okay, pull the left throttle back. Hey, we're not losing airspeed. Crap, we lost the left engine. All right, feather it, pull it back.
1 inch or for real?
All the way, for real. Make sure it's the left. All the way.
Whoa, we really killed an engine.
Yeah, we lost an engine.
This is the Piper Seneca. I'm starting my multi-engine rating because I got a really cool opportunity to get some solid training in a Beech 18 and a DC-3. But I wanted to be prepared before I faced those beasts.
Alright, so on your first takeoff, I'm not anticipating giving you a simulated engine failure, so if we have one, it's going to be a real one. You picked a choppy day to fly.
Yeah.
So before that trip, I started cranking on the multi-engine rating at home and got well into the process, and I'm about to do my flight test. So I'm going to share the entire process of my multi-training, and this is the first lesson.
Okay, so pre-takeoff checklist. Fuel selectors are on. Magnetos are on. Top controls full forward. Mixtures rich. Alternate airs off. Circuit breakers all checked. Cowl flaps are open. Trim set, so hard to see, but there's an N there for neutral, so that's neutral. This is elevator trim. This is rudder trim. Flight controls free and correct. You can do that. You're going to be doing the takeoff.
Okay, flight controls are free and correct.
Hey, doors, front, rear. So front's secure. Rear door is secure. Seats and seatbelts, mine's secure. Check yours.
Yep.
Hey, flight instruments are still set. Okay. Nav instruments we're not using. So it's going to be a takeoff briefing, then lineup checks. So takeoff briefing, it's a normal takeoff, runway 32. If we don't lift off by the intersection, we'll abort. Our liftoff speed will be 85. We're going to climb out at 105. If we lose an engine on the ground, we'll stop straight ahead. If we lose it in the air, we're committed to fly. We'll drill the vital actions, feather the engine to a circuit and land. In the event of any emergency during the flight, I'll fly the aircraft.
To the west of the field, clear.
Any questions?
2500.
Remind me, rotation is 85?
85.
Yep, okay.
Hey, time up will be 1455. You can set your heading indicator on 3-2, it already is. Ice protection, we don't need lights. You can turn on your landing lights, these two switches. And fuel pumps on.
The process of editing this one was some legit debriefing and flight test prep for me. So I'm happy to share a more old school feeling real-time training episode.
Hey, hold the brakes, bring the RPM up to 2000. Okay, check all your gauges, everything looks green. Okay, eyes down the runway, release the brakes, full power. Approach to traffic, Oscar, Sierra Romeo departing 3-2, left turn out, we have the traffic ahead.
Relative traffic, Oscar Charlie Hotel is turn final, runway 32.
Okay, we've got airspeed, 2 good engines. There's 85, lift off.
Positive rate.
Yeah, runway's gone, gear up. Pull it out, then up.
Got it.
Okay, nose down a little bit. This is about the attitude you want right here.
That was the in-transit light?
Yes, it was.
Alright, what are we climbing for again? 110?
105 initially. There's a blue line on there. It's a little hard to see, but...
Traffic, Bravo Juliet, Kilo, departing the circuit to the west.
Hey, there's 400 feet. Bring the power back to 25 inches. And the props back to 25.
That'll be a very small movement.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, left wing, caps and cowls are secure. There's no fire, smoke, or oil, and same on the right. Okay, and nose down a little bit. Accelerate to 120 in the climb. Start a left turn now, heading 240, climb 2,300.
240, and we're climbing for 2,400.
Yeah, and there's our traffic right there. I have him if you don't.
I got him.
Okay. Start to traffic, Oscar, Sierra Romeo through 1,800 off 3-2 and a left turn. We'll depart 240, climbing 2,300. We have the 172 ahead. So things happen pretty quickly on the takeoff roll. If you're used to flying on 172s or slower aircraft.
Yeah, that was all pretty fast.
Traffic, Victor Sierra, turning final 3-2, full stop.
It's not the nicest airplane to fly. The controls are kind of heavy and slow reacting, but it works okay as a trainer. So you can just do some rolls left and right, just kind of get used to the...
Like just some S
deal.
turns?
Sure, that'd be fine.
Okay, so go left. Right.
Clear, right? Never actually redesigned this thing. This is a Seneca 1. When they redesigned to make the Seneca 2 out of it, they gave it larger control surfaces because people complain so much.
Right.
I'm sure you're going to find the DC-3 and the Beech 18 a lot heavier than this thing is.
Well, we'll find out. I only had one chance to land the DC-3 and it was a fairly stressful situation at Oshkosh, so it's an interesting experience, but I'm looking forward to doing it somewhere quieter, which is what we're going to do next week, and then I'll have some time to actually land a couple times.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Alright, I have control.
You have control.
So we're going to take a look at engine failure. So it's a nice day, we're flying along. Yeah, and I'm going to simulate failing the engine. Now, I'm not going to recover immediately, I just want you to see what the plane's going to do. But rest assured, I will recover. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. Simulate engine failure. Let's see the pitch, roll, and yaw.
Yep.
So here's the fix, right? Control. So stop the yaw, stop the roll, stop the pitch.
And
Power. So mixtures, props, throttles.
they just hammered them, eh? Even though red line, we're not worried about that. We're just...
Well, we're on the red line. We don't want to be over it.
So did you floor them, or did you make sure you didn't go over red line?
Clearly I'm struggling with this procedure to firewall things, so I've added a little bit of the debrief from later in the flight to add some context.
You know, this thing's pretty bulletproof, so we can sort of, put the throttle forward all the way, but that may not be what you should do in a DC-3, right?
Well, it's a gigantic turbocharged radio, so I'm not sure it would.
You might blow something up doing that.
That's right. Well, I'm looking forward to putting this stuff into practice and try some engine out stuff with it and see how it scales up.
Yeah, so you got to follow the procedure for that aircraft, right? So just resist the temptation to slam things forward, right? Although, to your credit,
you can see
you were well aware of that
Yes.
and did not do it in this plane, which is great.
I don't ever do it because I fly so many different things that I'm never that guy.
Right.
And sometimes to a fault, I'm too slow to like slam it in recoveries. Like,
Well, it really makes me cringe when people slam the props forward and momentarily goes to 27 and 2800 RPM, right?
well, it's like putting your car into like second gear on the highway. You just can't downshift like that.
It's exactly like that.
We'll be exploring this subject more in the DC-3 and Beech 18 training, but I've since learned that you absolutely cannot firewall things in those airplanes. Anyway, let's get back to our flight.
Okay, so control, power, next thing is drag. So flaps up, gear up, identify dead foot, dead engine. I'm pressing with my right foot. My left foot's doing nothing.
Right.
So I suspect that my left engine is dead, but I would want to verify it. Of course, in training, it's very obvious because the throttle's back, right?
Yeah, so we'll pretend not to look.
We'll go through the motions of pulling it back. We're seeing no airspeed change, so I'm pretty sure that we have lost the left engine. All right, so now, where are we? We've got altitude, right? We're 4,000 feet. We're maintaining airspeed. We're doing okay at the moment. So what I'm going to do is a cause check. So I can turn on the fuel pumps. I can cycle the mags. I can cross-feed the fuel. I can turn on the alternate air. But of course, none of that works in practice. So we're going to decide, well, what we need to do is feather it. So for practice, we're just going to pull it back an inch to indicate which engine we've tried to feather there. Of course, if we were really feathering it, it would be full back. And in practice, once you as the student do that, I'm going to increase power on our simulated dead engine. By increasing power, we can simulate the lack of drag. So at this point, I can then pull out the checklist, put power on the good engine as required. We're doing okay. I'm going to actually reduce it a little bit just so we're not killing that one good engine. Trim 5 degrees to the good engine, so I'll do that.
And I hear a horn or something, is that correct?
Yeah, so what you're hearing is the gear horn. So once you reduce power below a certain amount, in this case about 14 inches, the gear horn will blow. So it's a bit annoying, but we'll live with it for now. Yep, so fuel on the left engine simulated off. Magnetos, left engine simulated off. Cow flap, simulated closed, it already is. Alternator, left engine simulated off. Electrical load reduced. We're doing okay, we're not using very much electricity at the moment. Fuel selector off, fuel selector, live engine cross feed if needed. And then we'd have to consider where we're going to go now. Alright, so we're doing okay. We've got about 120 miles per hour. We're maintaining our altitude, no problem. Should need to retrim a little bit.
This area traffic, Papa Julia Kilo.
So that is the entire drill.
Push flange right.
You have control?
180 for southbound.
Yeah, I have control.
2,300.
It's just fly the aircraft around. You can make some turns left and right.
Just to verify, I'm going to maintain bank into the good engine, and I'm going to keep the ball out of the cage towards the good engine.
Yeah.
Alright, so you just want me to just do a little bit of maneuvering?
Yeah, just to get the feel for it, right? The plane tries to turn left all the time. So when you're trying to turn right, it resists you.
You did a pretty good job trimming it though. It's not really fighting too much.
Okay.
I mean, is this about as much as we want to turn?
Well, you could go up to 30 degrees of bank.
Okay, let's try that. It's into the bad engine that you don't want to bank, right?
Well, let's see how it does.
Okay, so we'll stop there and then we'll come back the other way.
Yes, please. So you could go left 30 degrees of bank.
For real, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought there's a myth about not turning into your bad engine, but as long as you have speed, I guess you're fine. Is that the idea?
Well,
you have
to pay attention, right? I mean, it would get away on you if you don't pay attention.
Well, but am I going too fast? Like, should I be one?
No, we're good. We're doing 130.
Okay.
Let's go back to the right again. Fly heading of 270, please. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a myth. You know, there is some risk that if you aren't attentive, the aircraft will get away on you. But you know, there's no reason why you can't fly this aircraft at 30 degrees of bank into the failed engine. You know, again, you have to do what's appropriate for the plane you're flying, right? All right, so I'm going to give you back your engine now, so be ready for that, yeah. I'm just going to try not to be too jerky here. I'll give you back cruise power, both engines.
Alright, so it makes sense that I need to trim it down because you had a trim nose up?
Yeah.
And did you have rudder trim in?
I had a little bit. So, the easiest way to do that is with the ball center, just let go of the yoke and see if it rolls. It's rolling right a bit.
So I need more left?
That's great.
Okay, so let's just review that procedure again. So it's control,
yep.
Power,
yes.
Drag,
yes.
Identify,
yes.
Verify,
that's correct,
and then feather.
Well, cause check.
Oh, cause check,
but
right.
Feather, yeah.
Okay.
And then save your good engine, right?
Okay.
Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to simulate failing an engine on you. And initially I just want you to just control the plane.
So I'll try not to look so I don't see which one you're pulling, or do you
won't be able to look because I'm going to hide it.
Roger, good.
Alright? Yep. So all I want you to do is just control the plane and then using dead foot, dead engine, identify which one's failed.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Simulate engine failure.
Okay, so I can already tell my right foot is dead.
Yeah.
So I'm controlling.
Yeah.
Power going to be full forward. Can't reach it, but I'm on it now.
Yeah, control, power, full forward.
Full forward, everything. Full mixtures. I'm gonna go gently to 25.
Yeah. No, to full.
Sorry,
full power,
I'm afraid to floor it, but okay, there you go. All right, and then full throttle.
Yeah. All the way.
All right. Okay, so we've gotten rid of our drag, so we're gonna go gear up, flaps up.
Okay.
And now I'm going to identify.
Yeah, you've already done that, but do it again.
Yeah, so dead foot is right, so I'm going to play with my right throttle. I'm going to verify that fact didn't change anything, so
okay. I'm just going to interrupt you here. Look at our attitude, right?
So I'm diving, so I should have, yeah, so I think I've lost about 300 feet while we were talking, but good point. Okay, where was I? So I've checked.
So we've gone to identify and verify.
Right.
Okay.
So now it'd be cause check before feathering?
Yeah, so you can, do a cockpit sweep, right?
Is number one thing usually out of gas, so it probably makes more sense to go from the right?
Yeah.
So crossfeed will be first?
Yeah.
Then we're going to go this way, we're going to check everything.
Right, we're still losing altitude, so let's just make sure the aircraft is trimmed.
Yeah. That should have been my control, that should have been step one.
That's part of control, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we've done all of the cause check, nothing has worked. So now we're going to feather it, and so what I'd like you to do is just pull the prop lever back an inch to indicate that you've feathered the engine.
I'm going to go right.
Yep.
1 inch.
Okay, very good. So now that you've done that, keep your eyes outside because I don't have mine outside.
Got it. So now I'm going to adjust as you do that, and it requires less of everything to...
Yep. Okay, so we have simulated zero thrust.
Okay, so I'm just going to keep my ball half towards... I guess while that was all going on, I was still trying to do the same thing, 5-degree bank and Is that correct? Yeah, okay. To get the zero slip?
Yep.
All right, so now it's just less rudder is required to maintain the zero slip.
That's correct.
Because we have less drag.
Okay, so we have the engine feather. You can pull out the list and start reading from there.
So power good engine as required.
Well, we're hammering it, right? So
also
let's
back it off?
Let's actually back it off a bit. So go to 25 inches, 2,500 RPM.
Okay, so 25.
So I'm still hesitant to firewall the prop and throttle controls for my good engine, only to reduce the power 10 seconds later. This procedure is very confusing to me, but this is the way most primary training is done for multi-engine.
Stop my turns. I'm going to just maintain my heading while doing all this. I guess just hold it up. Makes more sense.
That would be easier.
So I'm really curious to learn more about this and talk to the community about how you end up having to sort of unlearn your primacy as you move up to different types of airplanes, where emergency procedures are very different.
Hey, flight heading 090 for now, and I'm going to give you back your engine.
Okay.
And your leg gets tired doing this after a while.
Yeah, but we're back, so I don't need it, so that's good. I don't think I really did much with the rudder trim. I'm not used to that control, so I was kind of working harder than I needed to. And then we should power back 24 squared, or you kind of...
I already did that, yeah.
At this point, Kevin's convinced me that the lesson's over and we're just sort of small talking on the way home.
Wow, we covered some ground there. Did we get all the way to Brantford?
Yeah, Brantford's right over there.
Yeah. Cool. Things fast.
Okay. Whoa.
I just lost. That was...
What happened?
That wasn't me.
What happened?
We just lost...
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I was trimming. So left. We just lost some left power.
Okay, control, power, pull. Props forward. Throttles forward. Okay, identify.
Well, dead foot is left.
Okay, pull the left throttle back. Hey, we're not losing airspeed. Crap, we lost the left engine. All right, feather it, pull it back.
1 inch or for real?
All the way, for real.
Okay. And mixture?
Mixture back.
All the way?
Left. Make sure it's the left. All the way, all the way.
Well, we really killed an engine.
Yeah. We lost an engine. All right, so Waterloo's over there. We better start heading there. All right, yeah, don't do that. I killed it on you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right.
Oh, we weren't going to do that.
Maintain altitude for now.
Holy shit, I thought that was good one. I really thought that was real. Is that what you do at every student? You say, we're not really going to do it. And then you really do it?
Hey, we're going to do an air start. Okay, so let's see here. Mags are on. Props in the cruise position. We have about 1 inch of throttle. Just maintain altitude.
Need a minute to recover.
So just crank the left starter.
You got it? I don't...
It's coming.
Okay, there it is.
It's windmilling. It's going to come up. Here it comes. And I'll set cruise power for you.
During the pre-flight briefing, I'd specifically asked Kevin if we'd be shutting down an engine like I'd seen Jason do in his DA-42 recurrency training. And I think Kevin wanted to maintain the element of surprise, which is why he took the liberty to be less than completely honest.
We should have shot that pre-briefing, but we were moving fast, so I didn't do it. But talking with the DA-42, and it was like, I guess that's a different airplane. My buddy shut that down when he was training, but we don't do that in this airplane. Oh my God.
All right, the reason I wanted to do that, first thing I did is I made sure of our position, right? We're close to a lot of airports. We're not heavy. We're well under our gross weight. We're about 3,850, 3,900 pounds. It's not very hot today. You know, it's just under 40 Fahrenheit. So, you know, we're not pushing the limits of the aircraft's capabilities, right? Plus, we just did a couple of engine failures simulated. So I had a very good idea that the aircraft is actually going to fly okay on one engine, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. So if it was minus 25 out, or, you know, 40 Celsius, we wouldn't do that. The reason why I like to do that is to show you how non-dramatic the failure actually is when it happens, right? You noticed it,
Yeah.
but a lot of people don't. They don't even know that something's happened. They kind of feel the plane, you know, wiggle a little bit, and they just go right on with what they were doing. And, you know, I have to say, what did you do? Or, you know, give them a hint.
Oh yeah, I knew right away, yeah.
Yeah, so
but I really believed that something happened, because I was like, I didn't do anything, but we lost the left.
but you got to see, you know, that actually feather in the plane, you know, it flies.
Yeah.
If you got altitude, it's not the end of the world, right? Keep your head, do the procedure, and you'll be all right. Unlike what happens on an overshoot. So we're going to try that now.
All
So
right.
let's do this. Bring the power back to about 17 inches.
So as if we're like landing?
Yep. So what we'll do is we'll say 3,000 feet is our simulated ground level.
Okay.
Let's lower the gear.
So we're good.
Go below 150, yeah.
Okay, so gear is out and down. Transit.
Yeah.
And so pump. There's
3 green and in the mirror, nose gear. Let's lower the flaps in stages. We'll go 10, 25, then 40.
And we're in the white arc, so we're good for that. 1, and you want me at 2?
Yeah. Hey, we're below 125, you can go full flaps.
That's a workout.
Yeah, it takes a pretty big pull.
Okay, and you want me at 110?
I want you at 90.
Okay.
It'll be pretty slow.
So 17 inches, props where they were.
Yeah, you
And
may have to,
90.
we're about 90. Okay, reduce power now and start a descent.
15 inches and full fine.
Yeah, that'll work. Also, make sure some props forward. Alright, so the overshoot procedure is like any other airplane, right? It's full power, pitch for climb attitude, then clean up the gear and flaps, right? However, as soon as you do that, I'm going to fail an engine on you. Your first job is to put the nose down, because we're going to be in a nose up at it. If you don't do that, we're going to hit VMC.
And I want to do a blue line?
You want to pitch for blue line, yes you do.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
I am ready for an overshoot.
Okay, overshoot now.
So full power.
Full power, pitch up, clean up the gear and flaps.
So gear first.
Yeah, look outside, pitch for climb. Simulate engine failure.
I'm going to leave the flaps where they were because I didn't get them all the way up yet.
Control, power.
I have control, power, full.
It is full. Drag.
Full. Gears up,
Flaps
are
gear
going up. I don't want to stay.
All the way.
Yeah, I'm going slow.
Don't do it fast, we don't have time to go slow. All the way. Okay.
Alright, blue line.
Control, power, drag, identify.
Yeah, so it's definitely left, played with left.
Verify, feather. Pull it back an inch. Okay, pitch for blue line.
Sorry, that changed fast on me. Okay, got it.
Yeah, sorry, that's my fault.
That's okay, I fixed it.
Kind of jerking it around here.
So fast, on blue line.
Okay, remember the 3 things, right? Ball half out, a little bit of bang, fly the blue line.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, you're a little fast, right? But to me, it looks like the top or the bottom of the window is right about on the horizon.
Yeah, same for me. If I have it right. So there it is.
Don't look at that. Just look outside.
Yeah, okay.
They're actually climbing. We're doing okay, right? So we're 400 AGL simulated right now.
How far did we get through the whole thing? We've cleaned it up, we've identified,
That's
we've
it.
feathered.
Now there's nothing else to do, right? Just concentrate on flying the 3 things that you need to do.
Because we're pretending that was a real deal with the ground is like right there.
Yeah.
So we just need to fly away.
Yeah, we don't have time to do any cause checks or anything like that. We don't have time to secure anything.
Okay.
We gotta concentrate on not crashing.
Okay, so we are climbing blue line and we're ball at 5 degrees.
All right, good job. So we're back at our initial altitude of 35. Okay, I have control.
You have control.
All right, I'm just gonna bring the power back here. And so I want to show you the effect of VMC. So the situation is this, right? We're possibly low speed, low altitude. We've lost an engine. We haven't yet feathered it. The other engine is running away at full power because we did that part. And then we just start getting slow. I'm not going to actually hit VMC. I'm only going to use half of the available rudder travel here. But I'm just going to start raising the nose.
So you're going to pretend like that's it for rudder and then you're going to see where it goes without any, yeah, okay.
Okay, because I raise the nose, so I need more control input. So there's half rudder.
Yeah.
If I get any slower, look what's happening. We're losing it.
Wow, that's
Here's
a
the
lot.
recovery. Nose down, chop the power. Okay, now I've got control again, right? Alright, I'm going to go back to full power, and you have control.
Okay.
You're going to do the same thing.
Okay, just to be clear, you want me doing a blue line climb and then pretend to hit VMC?
Just start raising the nose.
I'm not, well, where's my rudder at now? I'm good for where I've got it? Like
So you can have a little bit more, but just start raising the nose.
So now when I raise the nose, no more rudder, so I don't actually run out
That's correct.
for simulating. Okay, so
Keep it coming, keep it coming.
now I feel like I'm losing it.
You are losing it. Recover. Nose down, chop the power.
Not too much nose down.
Well, it depends how close to the ground you are, right? Our
Full
ground
power.
level was 3,000 feet. All right, very good. All right, let's head back to the airport.
So thanks for watching if you made it to the end of this one. I know it was a little longer than average, but it is what it is. It's hard to edit this stuff when it's constantly good content. This will be a multi-part series covering the entire process of the multi-engine rating, and I'll also be mixing in some really cool training in the DC-3 and the Beech 18. Thanks again to Patreon supporters and sponsors for helping us make this content. And as always, keep your flight trap sharp.
Alright, that's cool.
No, you did all right. Like you kind of kept your cool and just did what I told you to do without freaking out, which is great.
I 100% thought we lost it though. You did a good job fooling me.
Yeah, I'm a pretty good actor.